Anyway, we're talking about what's going on in my comedy world. I did a show at a strip club last week. First time I've ever done a comedy show at a strip club. You know, it was doing comedy in the strip club was the most difficult possible environment to do comedy in. Um, I arrived. I'm glad I did it, by the way, because everyone needs to get in the batting cages like Happy Gilmore every once in a while and get the shit beat out of you. I get there, uh, and the comedians that went on before me, I watched them literally line up and just nosedive and do belly flops on concrete. I would say at one point before I even went up, there was a comedian who seemed like a pretty good comedian. By the way, he had a good vibe to him and everything. Literally, there was like seven strippers sitting in a table near the front where the seats are toward the stage, and they were all yelling a conversation to each other in a different language. By the way, they were speaking Spanish, and it was so loud. It was like they were intentionally talking over him, knowing he was on stage, so that they could hear each other in their conversations. It reminded me of when I did comedy in Mexico on vacation, and there was a group of local workers that were heckling me in Spanish and also having a loud conversation amongst themselves, which was very difficult. But that was a low night in the world of comedy, and it was the reality of how bad it can be at times. And the strip club reminded me of that. However, all the shows that I've done, it doesn't phase me anymore to have a show like that. If anything, it makes me stronger and tougher. And it was cool to have the opportunity to belly flop in front of a bunch of strippers. By the time I got on stage, it was later in the night. Nobody wanted to see this comedy show anymore. I think at one point somebody interrupted me over the loud mic and said, strip. And that was the only thing that the audience reacted to positively. So I guess me and Michael B. Jordan have something in common, referring to his stripper sketch, that apparently people wanted me to strip rather than me do comedy that night. So, and there was one cute stripper that I was like hoping would like watch my set. She was too focused on trying to make money, didn't pay any attention. I felt like I was just like speaking into the ether. I feel like me talking to virtually nobody right now was more effective than doing comedy at a strip club.